All right, this is it.
Yep, we are back. Video 91. Today we're talking about type 1 and type 2 errors.
I try not to
So,
make them.
right. We all try and don't make errors, but it inevitably happens.
Okay.
So, first off, what is a type 1 and type 2 error? So, we gave you this nice little Punnett square. And,
Are you?
okay, so we'll talk about a type 1 error. So, on the top, these are what's actually true. Okay, so
Yes.
there's an R in true. Okay, so Mr. Miller's writing today. We're gonna go through some trial and error stuff.
All right.
Okay.
The truth.
Right. This is the truth on the top.
So
okay, so the truth is either our null hypothesis is true in real life, or our null hypothesis is false.
So let's think one at a time. Let's think H0 is true. It's
right.
really true.
Right.
Okay. You take a random sample.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And then two things could happen.
Right. The two things are we either reject or we fail to reject. So on the other side, here on the left, these are our decisions.
So your decision.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Lewis, I always respected you, but I have a new respect for you now.
Oh.
I appreciate your writing in the past.
That's fine.
All right, so let's say the null hypothesis really is true.
Yes.
Now, you could get a sample that leads you to reject. Remember, your sample is a random entity.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it's going to happen that H0 is true, but you just got a weird sample.
Right.
And you reject.
Mm-hmm.
So when H0 is really true, but your sample leads you to reject, that's called a type 1 error.
Yes, it is.
H0 true.
Okay.
But if H0 is true and you fail to reject, that's actually...
Yeah, that's fine. You're in the clear.
You didn't reject something that was true.
You did exactly what you were supposed to do.
All right, so this is a little smiley. Okay. The other thing is, suppose the null hypothesis were really false.
Right. And we reject it.
And that's good too.
That's a good thing.
Because it was false. So
yeah.
we're happy we rejected it.
Yeah, you're not going to get in trouble there.
Yeah.
However, you could also reject it when it's actually not enough evidence to do that. So it's actually, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Your null hypothesis is false, and you failed to see that. That's
you
what
failed to reject it. Yeah.
Right.
So it was false, but your test didn't reject it. That's called a type 2 error. Now again, this is due because the sample is random, and weird samples do happen. A certain probability of it happening. Okay, so the null hypothesis could be false, but your test didn't reject it, so that would be an error.
Right.
Okay.
So this would be what's termed as a false positive. So it was actually false, but you said it was true.
Okay.
Kind of a thing.
All right. We'll get used to this, but we just got to know this vocabulary.
All right. So let's kind of put it to a context. All right. So in first examples, we have an entomologist who writes an article on the Scientific Journal which claims that fewer than 12% of male fireflies are unable to produce light due to a mutation.
Oh.
Yeah. Isn't that sad? So our bug guy, his null hypothesis would be what?
P equals 0.12.
Right. He is going to test that it's 12%, but he actually believes that it's fewer than 12%. So this is a one-tailed. So we're going to now go less than 0.12.
Okay.
All right. So that's like, you should know that, yeah, this is old news. We should know how to do that. So now the type 1 error, what would that be?
It would be that the proportion is really 12%. So that was really true. Okay, I meant for an A there.
Right.
So P0 is really 12%.
Or larger. Like, we have no idea. All we know is it's not under 12.
But we rejected it.
Right.
Due to the sample we got. So it's not like we did an error in our calculations. It's just that our sample we got happened to be kind of one of those extreme cases.
Right.
Okay. So it's possible that it really was true, but our z-score was way out there for that sample.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So my handwriting is horrible to read. Now you know why Mr. Lewis has been doing this all year. So P is really 12%, but we rejected it.
Yes.
Okay, that's what that says.
All right.
Type 2 error.
Type 2 error is our P is actually false. So
P was not 12%.
No, it's much bigger than 12%, and we failed to reject it. So he actually,
we F T R. All right, that's new in the text world.
Right.
Failed to reject.
Right. So actually, P was less than 12%, but our sample size didn't tell us that.
Yeah, we took a
And-
sample and it wasn't that unusual,
Mhm.
away from 12.
Right.
All right, so two types of things could happen. All right, you know what they say. Poop happens.
It does.
All right,
Okay. Skeptical paranormal researcher claims that the proportion of Americans that have seen a UFO, P, is less than 5%. So, first we would say P equals 5%.
all right,
Secondly, HA,
is,
P is less than 5%.
is.
Okay. So, type 1 error is,
This is exhausting.
type 1 error is P is actually 5% or more, and we reject it and say it's less.
But we get an odd sample
Right.
that was way less than that. Is
Yeah.
Z-score far away from 0?
Right. You got to
So
think
we
you're
reject it.
you're moving down your normal curve away from.
Yeah.
I mean, think about when we did the confidence testing in class, and we're all doing different stuff, and we're going down. Sometimes you miss.
Yeah, confidence intervals were random. And this is kind of the same way. We got to remember that this hypothesis is based on a random testing is based on a random sample.
Right.
So, okay, so P is 5%, but
We reject.
we rejected it. And that would have been committing a type 1 felony or type 1 error.
Yes.
Okay, type 2 error.
Type 2 error
I'm getting the hang of this already.
is P is less than 5%, or P is not 5%. Okay,
So it really is less.
5%.
Ah,
You're still on the other problem.
I know.
You just
Isn't
love
that-
bugs. You're a bug
I'm
guy.
just like concentrating on here.
You gotta write.
So it's
for some
really
reason, it gets smaller.
so
or
it's really
harder.
less.
It's really less, and we failed to see that. So we failed to reject.
And you know what we did? We FDR'd.
Yep.
Okay.
We FTR'd it. All right, we're kind of getting the hang of this. So here we have a university who wants to increase its retention rate of 4% for graduating students from the previous year. After implementing several new programs during the last 2 years, it wants to reevaluate. So we wanted to increase it. So our null is 4%. Okay. Our H naught is, did it go up?
So our alternative is greater than 0.04.
Right.
All right.
So type 1 is,
Oh, this seems really routine already.
yeah.
It
It is 4%.
really
Okay.
was 4%.
4%. And we
But-
rejected it. So basically what the university would say is their new programs are working when in reality they're not.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. So they're going to spend extra money keeping stuff that's not working. Okay.
That happens too.
Well, I mean, this is like where the real world
Terribly familiar with that.
implications of this would be. And
Okay.
then type 2 would be it is not 4%. It's greater than 4%.
So it really was greater.
Uh-huh. And we failed to see that. So we're actually, then it'd be even worse. We would cancel the programs that are working in favor of something else.
So
And
it
it was
really
helping.
is greater, but we failed to reject.
Mm-hmm.
But we
FTR'd.
FDR'd. Okay. For the purpose of this video only.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
we
don't-
FDR'd.
Don't write FTR on the AP test.
Now, in a more advanced stats class, take stats again, a little bit more advanced class, then you might start talking about, how to reduce these as much as possible. They
Yeah.
kind of play off of each other.
They do. As one increases, the other one will decrease.
Yeah, so if you were to make the type 1 error smaller, or chances of that smaller, you'll actually increase the probability you're committing a type 2 error.
Correct.
There's kind of a balance. And so you can learn about how to kind of find that balance.
Right.
And a lot of it has to do with the alpha level, right? The
It does. Well,
significance level.
Right. Alpha is your type 1 error. So
Yeah.
if you're at a 95% confidence, your type 1 error would be 5%.
Yeah, we'll be seeing that in the near future, I think.
Right.
Next video, we'll worry about. Well, the next step is to calculate, well, what is the probability of making a type 1 error? That's actually not so bad.
Mm-hmm.
But that's probably the next video.
All right. For
Right.
now, you guys just go through and do what we were doing.
Do the do.
So we have a weight loss center that provided a loss for 72% of its participants.
Oh, look, I'm going to draw one of them.
Hang on. Don't do
Thank you.
that.
Thank you. All right, just keep saying what you're saying.
All right. Anyway, the center's leader decides to
Person's a
test
stick now, man.
the new loss strategy. Okay. So I'll give you a hint. Okay. This is a two-tailed test because we just want to know if anything changed.
Right.
It's just 72% we're losing weight. We want to know, did it go up and down based on this new strategy?
So,
Okay. So state the null and alternative,
okay.
and then tell us what the type 1 and type 2 errors would be.
Okay. The fact that it's two-tailed doesn't make part B and C harder.
No, actually, it doesn't do anything for that. It would only affect your hypothesis testing, which we're going to do in class. So
Groovy. We're almost done with hypothesis testing.
sweet. All right. See you guys tomorrow.